I oversee a few different functions. One is the family services department, which works with our family partners who are purchasing a home through our standard home ownership program, and the other is through roof and repair family partners who are getting zero interest loans to repair the existing homes. But also the other parts of the program that go with that are our neighborhood revitalization initiative. It's called NRI, or Block by Block for short, which is really our community coalition work, our civic advocacy and action and education pieces to the program. And then the last part of program director is all the data mining we do, which is tracking our efforts with our family services, our new homes, our construction, and all those things. And we look at that data spatially so we can make more strategic decisions. I love Habitat. It's one of my favorite organizations I've ever gotten to work with. I work with quite a few nonprofits. It's my first one ever being employed with one. But a big part of what I love is Habitat doesn't see itself as the entity coming to save the day, but rather a strategic partner. And really our big belief here at Habitat is that the community itself where we're working is what we're working for, to be the celebration of the main person winning. So Habitat's role is really a connector in a lot of ways, is one role, which is all the NRI work we do. But the other is our expertise in housing, being able to build new homes, acquire existing demolition properties, getting those torn down, and working and connecting people to other resources that might be in the communities. Another way we have volunteers here at Habitat is through our family selection committee, which is volunteers from all across Omaha of different backgrounds, different income statuses. We have some former Habitat family members who are on the board, on the family selection committee as well. What they do is every year, we take applications all year, but we have 2 cycles where we get the family selection group together for a few months. We're in the middle of the cycle right now. And once they take all the applications in, we then do income screening, because our families, we can sell homes from families that are at 30 to 60% of area median income, according to HUD standards for the Douglas County area. Once the families get past that point, they verify their income, then they take that applicant pool, and family selection then goes and actually does initial visits for all of those families that made it to that point. Sometimes it's usually over 100 households. So they're going and visiting, and then they're divulging which families, the families are divulging what their level of need is. Maybe they're overcrowded, maybe they're in severe, impoverished living conditions, safety concerns, accessibility issues for handicapped families. So the family selection has a very hard job, because then they have to look at it and say, well, gosh, like this cycle, we only have 23 slots for families. We took in over 230 applications in this cycle though. 120 got past that line. So now, right now, next Wednesday, the family selection committee has already done almost all the 120 site visits. They're going to get together and they're going to rank which families have the strongest physical need that match up to the houses that might be available for this next cycle. And at that point, then we'll enroll the families. It's really, we're always at the mercy of where we can acquire properties. Habitat for Humanity of Omaha has really grown in a sense that traditionally when we first started, we were built, I believe it took us 2.5 years to build our first house. So it wasn't, the issue of being strategic of where we built wasn't as much. But now where it is for a while there, Habitat was building very scattered sites across the city, wherever we could get properties donated. But now, that was also when we only had the home ownership program. But now when you factor in things like our demolition program, our coalition work, our rock the block efforts, our roof and repair program, it's how can we make a much more concentrated impact in a community and put those resources in. Well, we have our demolition program we started in 2011. So we learned that building one new Habitat house or a new home in a community is a great start, but it's not the only help the community needs. removal of blighted structures is a really big important piece of the puzzle, because what it is urban decay is what they call it, is really infectious, and it starts with one vacant property. Before you know it, especially when you drive it, you can almost see a block in transition. Where there's one, it's not long before the neighbors right next door will start to question their investment of home ownership, or even the integrity of living on that block. Think about yourselves in that position. If you just purchased a home and 2 years later you see the one next to you start to get a condemned sticker flag, the kind of worry that goes into you, especially as you're a younger family. Well, being able to come in and fix that and get that block going in a better balance is so important. I mentioned the civic education, teaching people what neighborhood associations are and why they're so important, are not just our rights, but our responsibilities of being active citizens. So a lot of the work I do at the neighborhood level actually now is really with younger kids. Because I talk to people in my generation, I talk to, from baby boomers on down actually, in my experience of doing coalition work, is there's a lack of knowledge of what community-based associations are, volunteer groups that do community